Hi everyone, today we'll be looking at fashion in relation to Erickson's categories of globalization. So let's get straight into it. Fashion is a super broad term, but today we're going to be focusing on fast fashion. This is a recent term for clothes that are designed, produced, and bought relatively quick, based on trends, and I mean recent as in recent. Many popular brands like H&M and Forever 21 are fast fashion, but a lot of fast fashion companies don't have any physical stores. Nowadays, a lot of these brands have exclusively online stores. Shopping is more accessible from the internet. A lot of stores like Shein and YesStyle even have their own apps for convenient mobile use. It's so much easier to just shop at home rather than going all the way to a store just to look at the same items. Not to mention, you don't have to wait in line or have a limit on how much you can buy because you don't have to carry it. Your clothes come straight to your door or post office. With the addition of boats, trains, airplanes, and trucks, the delivery of online orders has never been so fast. You can get clothes produced all the way overseas to your house within a week, which is so much faster than the years before. Imagine having to go to China all by yourself for a shirt. Yeah, I guess not. Because it follows trends, you can also find a lot of similar looking items in fast fashion stores. In fact, a lot of these stores buy the exact same product from the same wholesale company. If you look closely, some sellers even use the same exact display pictures. Despite sharing a lot of the actual products, fast fashion allows us to have an abundance of different things too. Because of the internet and online stores, anyone from around the world can buy the same styles as you. Here, we have a little chart which shows a few Asian cities and how much they influence the shown styles based on a study done on global fashion trends. These six styles are pretty basic, and you could probably find a plaid shirt in your own closet. But it's crazy how someone across the world owns the same kind of clothes as you. It's a lot more than just stripes and graphic shirts, though. Because they are available online, anyone can buy these clothes and wear them as they please. Traditional fashion from other cultures have been used as inspiration for clothes. This can be seen in the Chinese collar, which was inspired by the collar typically seen in traditional Chinese menswear, or in traditional Chinese dresses, which have been modified to have larger cutouts and change skirt lengths, among other things, to fit the consumer's wants. These fast fashion brands sell regular traditional dresses as well, but these modified traditional wear have also been changed the local point of view of clothing. The modern Chinese dress is shorter, and some have less traditional patterns or colors. Some look like different clothes entirely. Through fast fashion and their online stores, we can share culture from others all around the world and see what kind of clothes locals from other countries traditionally wear. Fast fashion is not all that great though. When you're online, mindlessly browsing through an online shop, it's easy to press the buy now button and just buy a lot at once. You can't see the clothes in front of you, so it doesn't seem like a lot, and you aren't physically handing a cashier your money, so it doesn't seem like you're losing much when you shop online. In actuality, this is not your fault. Stores purposely make it easier for you to buy things and urge you to buy them quickly, with the promises of sales, free shipping, and recommended items. When you visit a fast fashion website, you'll be hit with a spam of enter your email or sign up now for % off your purchases. There will almost always be a timer indicating that if you don't buy that thing now, then you'll lose a potential discount. It's called impulse buying, and it's pretty dangerous for your wallet. You run the risk of losing a lot of money and buying something you might not need or want later. It gets worse than that, though. A lot of fast fashion brands, or at least the popular ones, are based around China, which is known for not having the best working conditions. If you look at the tags of your clothes, you may see made in Ethiopia. Well, those clothes are probably made in Ethiopian sweatshops run by Chinese companies. A lot of Ethiopians are tricked or forced to work in these facilities, getting promised a stable income, and then end up with very poor working conditions, getting the bare minimum training, and then expected to work their jobs perfectly. Fast fashion is very much based on mass production, and a lot of that production is in unethical sweatshops. When you buy from these companies, you're enabling this kind of behavior. Finally, fast fashion is terrible for the environment. With mass production comes mass waste, and the amount of textile waste is huge. Around 80 billion pieces of clothing are bought a year, and nearly 3.8 billion pounds of that is bought by Americans. 85% of all of that is sent to landfills. Needless to say, that is a lot. Textile waste is a serious problem and is very unsustainable. Sustainable clothing is becoming more popular, but fast fashion and their cheaper products are hindering the growth of sustainable products. It is also the cause of all this buildup of garbage. So let's recap. Fashion relates to speed in the concept of fast fashion itself, which is constantly changing based on the circulating internet trends. Fast fashion brands keep adding new styles and designs to their racks, mass producing clothes to keep prices low and consumers interested. Fast fashion relates to mixing, as we're able to share traditional clothing from other countries, and other countries are able to buy and wear clothes from all around the world as well. Locals are also able to take inspiration from other cultural clothing and integrate it into their own. Finally, fast fashion relates to risk and impulsive buying, the unethical processes of mass production, and the environmentally unfriendly nature of fast fashion. My name is Fiona Lau, and thank you all so much for watching.